complete roadmap for every important topics. Okay, so we are going to be open up the concept with the array. So today, okay, thank you, Thermal. Thank you, Thermal. So today we are going to be. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your acknowledgement. Okay, so today, first of all, for if you before you are going to be study anything, okay, before you are going to be study anything, so you need to understand the fundamentals. Okay, so definitely I'm going to be share this PDF, Hemendra, don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing this for everyone. So this I'm going to be have this PDF. Okay, so in this one, so I'm going to be have the complete roadmap of array. So for I'm having a two PDF. So if you just see this one, I'm having a two PDFs. So first of all, this PDF I'm having the complete syntax of array. Okay, before in this today's live session, so I'm in this complete 6 days, you are going to be learn the very important topics: array, pointers, and bitwise operators, because these are the questions which is continuously asked in the product-based companies. Okay, so you have to be very strong in this topics. So for that, you have to be master these topics. So I'm just segregated for two days. Okay, array you're going to be study, and the pointers, bitwise operators, and again array, pointers, bitwise operators. Okay, yes, it is gonna be the day one session, so don't worry about this one. So previously many live has been happened, guys. So today we are taking for C programming. So especially people who are seeking job, so we are covering this topics. Okay. Okay, some might be uh, due to the cyclone, and also we are having not clear network. So first of all, we'll start with this fundamentals. Okay, so fundamentals means syntax. Okay, I'm going to be tell you this in this today's live session. So we are going to be study about the array. Okay, we are going to be study about the array. So we have to be solve some logical questions in array. So before what you have to be know, you know the complete syntax. You know the complete syntax of array. Then only you can go to solving the problem. So this is very important thing. So first of all, you have to understand the syntax, and then only you can able to solving the problems. Okay. First of all, we will completely study the syntax. Okay, I'm just having a separate PDF of syntax. So what is from the starting, beginning to advanced topics, I'm having a syntax. First of all, today we already study about array. So what does mean by array? So array is a collection of elements of the same data type, continuous memory location. That means you have to be say one data. So you have to be declared like, so what type of data type you are mentioning. If you are declaring one variable, you have to be mentioned what type of data you are going to be stored, right? So inside that, you are going to be store your exact data. So this is normal declaration, normal storing of data. When you want to be stored like 10 amount of data like this. Okay. So at the time, you can't do like operation of d is equals to 11. Okay, so instead of avoiding this, they are introducing this array. Okay, so this array, which is going to be help you to store the data, it should have the same data type. If you are storing an integer, so the entire block should have been stored only the integer data type. If you are storing the character, you can able to store the full of character data type. If you are storing the float, only you can able to store the float data type. So this is the array. Array means you can able to store the group of elements, but it should have the same data type. Okay, so that is the thing. How you can able to declare the data type? So this is how you have to do. First of all, you have to be mention what is the data type. Okay, what is the data type of your array? Okay, so you have to be mentioned this is the data type of array, and then you have to be mentioned the array name. Okay, whatever the name you can able to give on here, whatever the name is possible. So you have to be given the array in the subset. Okay, in the subset you have to be mentioned the size. Okay. Again, I'm telling, if you know the exact size, you can mention it. If you don't know, it just, okay. If you are not mentioning the size, it is automatically taken the size. Okay. For example, if you just, before that, I'm just opening one compiler, guys. So it helps to show you the things. Okay. So I'm opening one GDB compiler. So to show the outputs and all. So it's just loading, guys. So give me a minute. Okay, fine. So it's loaded. So now I'm going to be show you that what it is actually doing. So how you are going to be declare one array. So first of all, you have to be mentioning the data type, and then you are going to be declare one array name, whatever it is, and then inside the subset, you are going to be mention what is the size of your array. Okay. If you don't know the size, you just leave it, and inside that you have to be providing your data. Okay, so you have to be end up with semicolon. So every statement should end up with a semicolon. Inside that, whatever you want. So you can given as your data. Your data is also going to be given inside this array. Okay. If you don't know this size of the array, you just leave it. But if you are providing a five numbers, so it is automatically taken the inside this block five. Okay. So this is what it is actually going to be do. And this is the syntax of this is how declaring the array. And why do we use an array? So why do we use the array? So previously I told you it helps to storing the multiple values which contains the same data type. Okay. And easy indexing. So easy indexing means you can just configure, just calling by the index. Okay. So if you want to be access the data which is present inside this by just but by using the index only, you can easily printing the data and everything is going to be possible on here. Okay. So this is the initialization process, and then syntax. Okay, so syntax of declaration, so you can able to given for the different data types. If you're using integer data type, you have to be given int of the array and the size you can give it. If you're using a character data type, you can give the character as your data type and name is the array name and size of your data which are going to be provided. Okay, so for example, if you are going to be provided up to 10 data like this, okay, you are going to be provided the 10 data integer. So you have to be set that you can give below this value, okay, or exact this value, but it's not taking above this value. It is a memory of, so it is not going to be taken above this one because you have been settled inside the memory. Okay, so I need 10 block. Okay, so I need to store the 10 amount of data only means it provided. So if you don't know the how many values you are going to be provided, some cases we will ask the uh, this data. We will ask the data from user. Okay, at the time we don't know what will be the size. We just simply declare like this. Okay, so at the time we can ask from the user. Okay, so scanf through scanf we can ask from the user to provide the data. Okay, in this time what we can do is we uh not mentioning the size is better than. Okay. Okay, so you just simply put the size of the array, so it is automatically going to be start to be storing the arrays on it. Okay, we can able to get the array which is going to be stored in this location. Okay, it is automatically going to be stored in this location. So this so again another very important thing you have to be understand is guys, when you are going to be declare, this is how you are going to be declaring the array. Okay, so it's common for all. So when you're going to be use, yeah, when you're going to be use ARR, that means your array name only, it's automatically taken the initial address. That means the base address of your array. Okay, so you are having a array like this. For example, we will change it for 5. It's the number, and I'm going to be declare for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 datas have been stored. Okay. So here you just simply going to be print. Okay. You're just simply going to be print f of, it is simply given this ARR means it is automatically taken the initial base address of this one. So automatically if you're going to be given that start to taken from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So always remember that. So the index would be started from 0. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So always it is the value will be n minus 1. So how you can able to find the size? Okay, how you can able to find the size? So yes, I'm going to be explain this. Okay, so here this ARR means it is the initial address, that is the base address of your array. So you're going to be mentioning only the array name. Okay, when you're going to be whenever you're mentioning only the array name, it's taken the initial address. What is the initial address? It is going to be taken. Okay, so this is the array concept. So when you want to be find the size of the array, so we know the operator called as in size of. Okay, so I'm going to be declare one variable, so that is n, which is equals to size of. Whenever you are going to be use this operation called as in size of, it helps to find your size of your variable. Okay, for example, I've just given like ARR. Okay, first of all, I'm going to be given the ARR. So this ARR just going to be the array name. Okay, so which can how many data it is actually holding. It is going to be considered with a byte. Okay, so this is each integer. So we are just why we are going to this integer data type, because whenever you want to be store the multiple data types, at the time to avoid in this, we just go to this array. So all are integer, each and everything which is holding a 4 bytes. Each which is holding a 4 bytes, right? So for that, so each which is holding 4 bytes, totally I'm having five datas. Yes. So length is also string length is also going to be used, guys. You can use the library called as an uh, hash include of yes a string dot h. So in some of the interview questions, you will be get the if the interview will ask the questions like you shouldn't use the string dot h. Okay, so without using string dot h, you should find the length of the array. Okay, they will ask the question like this. So, while you're going to be using the string.h, you will use the function called as in what? So, we can use the string strln. Okay, so this function just helps to find the total length of the array. Okay, sometimes they will ask you the question, so you shouldn't use the string.h. Without using the string.h, you have to be find it out the value. Okay. Yes, it is for string, guys. Okay, here I'm not going to be using that. So it is telling like 4 bytes. Each which is holding 4 bytes. Totally, I'm having a 5. So it is going to be tell you 20. So each which is having a 20. Okay, so just divided by. So you have to be size of. So AR of 0. Okay, so total divided by. I will get 5. Okay, so this is how you can able to easily find it out of the pie. Okay, so you can able to get the total amount of the uh, size. So how each individual byte size and how many you are having. Okay, so it is going to be when you're going to be using a size of operators, it is helps to consider this manner. Okay, but you need to find out how many numbers which is exactly presented. So for that, you just divided by the size of each integer. Okay, so then you will get the exact value. Okay. So this is how you can able to find it out. So I told you that whenever you're using an array name only, consider the first initial address. That is fine. And yes, initialization. So how do you consider the initialization is So this is how you can able to initialize the data, right? So first of all, you just declare the array name and size and how many data you want, you can given here. Okay. So and then partial initialization means you have been given the size is 5. You can consider here the size is 5. I have been given the data exactly 5. Okay, here you just see that I've been given 5, but I just initialized only 2 data. This is called as a partial initialization. So remaining becomes automatically 0. When you're going to be print this, okay, it is automatically considered 0, 0, 0. 3 zeros going to be added on. And when you're going to be use this, previously I told you this method, this is called as an auto size. So auto size means whenever you are not mentioned the size here, it's automatically consider what is the exact size. Yes, guys. So definitely I'm going to be sent this one. Okay, so don't worry about this at the end of this life. Okay, so here I'm just automatically taken the what is the size of the array. Okay, it is automatically fill the number. Okay, this is the thing. And accessing that, how you can able to access that? Because I just simply initialize the value like this. This is how I'm going to initialize. Okay, so how can you able to access the each value? So all has been located on this array. Okay, in this array, totally it is having 5 numbers. Okay, if I want to be access any array, I can simply use like which array I want to access. For example, I want to access 1. Okay, if I'm going to be run this, I can easily access uh, the second. That means 1 means it's always taking the index. Okay, so for the 0, 1. So if I'm mentioning 1, so it is automatically taking the this position, first index address. Yes, we can able to accessing with the index. But just think about it, guys. I want to access the entire numbers. Okay, I want to access the 1 to 5 numbers I want to access. What can I do this? So here I can do the looping because while I'm going to be use the loop, it helps to be access the overall data. Okay, here I'm going to be declare one for loop. The syntax of for loop. The syntax of for loop is it just initialization first. You have to be initialization and then compare. Okay, so here I'm just taking the comparison of I'm just declared one I is one of the variable initialized. Okay, with the help of this I am going to be completely accessing all this stuff. Okay, so here I is 0, and what is the maximum number you are going to be taking? I can take it as an n because n is the total number which is 5. Okay, which is 5 because it's having a 5 numbers here. Okay, so 0 of a 5 it is going to be checking. So when it is actually going to be failed, so whenever it is reaching 4 or 5, this is the last one. So 5 greater than 5 is less than 5, it is not going to be well, even this index is from 0 to 4 only. Okay, it is obviously going to be match. I'm going to leave it and I plus this. So I'm just leave it like this, and here I'm just instead of accessing the specific index value, I'm just changing it for I. Okay, if I'm going to be changing it for I, you can able to see this first of all 0. So in this 0, it is automatically check the value 0 of greater than 5. It is going to be take what is array of 0. So array of 0 is going to be what the value which is present inside this array of 0, it is going to be printed. Okay, and then I is going to be incremented. Go to the 1, and it is going to be checked what is the index of 1. So it's going to be printed. So up to the 5 values, it is going to be printed at the index of 4. So when I'm going to be run this value, you can able to see that the value has been printed. Okay, whenever they are using a /t, it is giving a tab. Okay, so I can easily accessing all the data with the help of the loop. Okay, so it is going to be helpful. And yes, so this is how you can able to accessing the data, and then input and output. So if you want to be get the input, what you can do, if you want to be print the output, what you can do. So I previously told you that. So if you want to be completely get the data from the user, you have been initialized. This is the array name. Okay. but you are not going to be initialized that way. You have to be get it from the user. You have to be use the function called as in scanf. Okay, the data you want to be printed on the screen, you have to be used called as a function called as in printf. In this case, you are using the same format. You don't easily think it, guys. Whenever you want to be work on with the multiple data accessing, getting and printing, so you have to be go to the looping. Okay, because looping will can do the multiple data going to be printed. Okay, this time, so I'm just here using the looping function. Here scan have of the first index number I've been mentioned. So ampersand of a. Okay, so I what is actually going to be doing? So in this address of 0, first of all, it just come to the 0. So address of 0, it is going to be get the data. Address of 1. So exact address, it is going to be storing the data. In this printer function, it is automatically printed what are the data you have been getting. Okay. So I hope you got. So now we have to do some simple logical understanding programming questions. Okay, so this is the traversal. So this time, so I told you so how you can able to accessing all the data. So this is how we can able to do this. So here I show you this one. So you can able to accessing all the data and how to find the maximum number. Okay, I'm going to be tell it for the maximum number. You people are going to be try it for the minimum number. Okay, here I'm just having a data like this. Here I'm having these are the data. So here I want to be find it out the maximum number in this array. Okay, this is also one of the question you might be expect. Okay, so I need to find it out which is the maximum array in this element. Okay, you have to be find it out. So how we can able to do this? So simply, first of all, you just take the one array. Okay, you just simply take one array and you just simply initialize. For example, here I'm going to be initialize. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to be declared one maximum is one of the variable, and this maximum is a array of 0. That means here I'm having array set of arrays. Okay, in this set of array, I've been get the size and all. Initially, I'm going to be declare maximum because I want to find it out. Up to this 5 values, I need to find out which one is the maximum number. Okay, for that, initially I just printed. Okay, initially I just use the number is called as an maximum is A00. Okay, so here I just use the maximum is a A0. Okay, so after that, I need to find out the all the things I need to be compared. Okay, because first one is not a maximum number. With the help of that, I'm going to be find it for the all the things. Okay, so here you can able to easily check it. First of all, max. So here I just declared this is 1. Okay, so currently 1 is the maximum. Currently 1 is the maximum number. If here I'm going to be check the condition. Okay, so for that I'm just bring the if condition. Okay, if so maximum. So whenever when the value is above this maximum value. So whenever the value is greater than this one. Okay, for example, greater than this, okay, R of I. Because with the help of this loop, I can able to accessing all the data, right? So here I'm just considering this. Initially, I'm just stored the first value is the maximum. And inside this loop, I need to verify all the data because any of the thing will be maximum other than this, right? So I need to check all the data. Here I'm going to be check if maximum is greater than any of the value. Okay. Here, what will be, it will be do. You just change maximum is equals to ARR of I, which you found it. Okay, which you found. Here it is actually going to be do like, first of all, maximum is equals to 1. Okay, maximum is equals to 1. And after this, so it is we have been given to the loop. Okay, so you have to be checked. So maximum is one is telling I'm the maximum one. Okay, but loop you have to be checked whether max is one or not. Okay, so it is just going to be checked. Like first of all, max is equals to first of all come to this zero, ARR of zero. Okay, if you don't want to be check the first one, you just change it for one. Okay, so here it is checking like AR of 0. It is know that it is 1. So it is skip this. And ARR of 1. So other it is actually going to be iterated and going to be incremented by 1. So it is going to be checked max. That means 1 is greater than of 2. It's not. Okay. So 1 is not greater than 2. It is less than, right? So now the maximum is updated to 2. Now the maximum is updated to 2. Okay. So now it is checking the 2 is, so 2 is greater than of next value. So 2 is greater than of next value is 3. No. So now the maximum value is updated to 3. So likewise, it is actually going to be 2. Okay. Until it reaches this, the maximum value of 5. Okay, so now going to be run this one. So it is going to be give the value for dozen. So which one is the maximum value? Okay, so we are just printing on here. So it is automatically given which one is the maximum. Okay, so we are printing in this out of this. Okay, so you got clear, guys. In this one, you got clear. If you got clear, you just post the message for lesson for clear. So how many people have been got clear? So you just post the message for lesson. So you got the logic, guys. You got the logic. Yes, exactly. Sorry, guys. I just printed the previous one, so I have just printed the very lesson. This, and you have to be change it to this way. So it has printed. Okay, so while you're going to be print, so the printing value is also important is because once the loop has been completely done, finally you're going to be printed. So meanwhile, you're going to be printed, it is trying to print all the data. Okay, at the same time, you have to be print the maximum value. So I previously I printed this ARR, like, okay, so it's so you have to print the maximum value. So you got the logic. So thank you so much, guys. All the people have been got post the clear message on the chat box. So next we'll go to the next logic of this. Here it's having the complete logic. So we'll see each and there is a code. Okay. And what you're going to be doing the multi-dimensional array. So what is multi-dimensional array means? Array means we just consider it as one of the matrix. Okay, just a matrix. So likewise, whenever it is a single matrix, you just arrange it in this form. Okay, so one rows and multiple columns. Okay, so you have to be mentioned in this format. So you have to be if it is a single column, you are not going to be mention it all the time. Just simply mention like it is a how many rows you are, how many rows you're going to be using. So that's only you're going to be mentioning. Okay. So in single matrix, it's not matter, but it is if it is a two-dimensional array. So you have to mention the row and the column. How many rows and how many columns you're going to be using on each. Okay. And here you can able to see that it is a two rows of three columns. Here I'm going to be using a two rows. Okay, and of three columns I'm going to be using. Okay, so here you need to be mentioned. Yes, it is it's about the how many rows and columns it is going to be mentioned. Okay, so this is the two-dimensional array. Here is also you can easily accessing the element. simply, whenever it is having a two-dimensional array, you can initialize the another for loop. Another for loop will be accessing the data. So here we are using ARR of I. You can, if you want to be access another value, just using like a, you just use another variable called as j. You can easily access what is the row, what is the column. If you want to be access the data of zeroth row, first column, so you just mention the row and what is the column you want to use. So that is how you can able to do. Okay, so that is the thing. And next, so this is the matrix. Okay, and it is a memory layout, guys. So what how it is actually going to be stored. So array means it is continuously going to be stored. Okay, so for that case, for pointers, it is easy to be accessed. So arrays will be stored in this format. Okay, so if you just this is how your memory. Okay, like this is how your memory will be looks like. So the memory, so whenever you want to be declaring one variable ARR, so in this memory, in this array, so the initial base address, it is going to be start to store in this address. Okay, all the data is going to be stored in this memory. Okay, so in this pointer and all, you can easily accessing the data. Always your pointer is incremented. So whether it's incremented or decremented based on the data type is going to be different. If it is an integer data type, it is incremented by, so your data is going to be incremented by 4 bytes. If you are using a character data type, it is incremented by 1 byte. If you're using a short integer, 2 byte. Float means 4 byte. This is how the pointer, so you can easily understand the type. Okay, so here the pointer and array concept. So here I've been mentioned. So you don't confuse with this concept. So while discussing about the pointer, you can understand this. So we'll directly go to the today's section. So the logics we can able to discuss. Okay, so yes, we will definitely discuss the concepts, guys. So these are the concepts you can easily solve. Okay, so like what is input and what is how to print these values and find the sum of the numbers and count even and odd numbers and find maximum element, find minimum element, search in elements in linear search and print array in reverse order, copy one array to the another. So you people are going to be you have to be without any lies. So you have to be tell the honest truth. So how many people are know this? Or you can able to tell this. I can able to solve this all the problem. Okay, out of 8, you just post your answer on the chat box. So Charlotte, I can solve out of 8. I can solve a 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. I can able to solve all the problems. So how many people can do it? So you can post your answer on the chat box. I'm going to be see how many people are can able to solve this. So Varnit Gupta can solve 8 and Prashant solve 8. Yes, Deepak solve 8 and yes, we can do it. I can able to choose all those problems. So Mukesh compiled 8. Exactly. So all the people can easily solve this problem. Okay. So I'm going to be asked the next question. So before going to be uh, implement this solve problem. So I am going to be ask you to the people. Definitely, I'm going to be tell you what's the logic and how to solve this. Okay, everyone need to be learn. Okay, so for this case. Okay, so okay, we will solve it, and I'm going to be simply tell the logics only because I'm not going to be type every codes because it is taking more time. So I'm simply telling the logics, and we are going to be implemented. Okay, and I'm going to be show the next problems. So how many people can solve all those problems in second section? No need to be worry about this, guys. We can do it. Okay, we can do. Okay, so what are the problems we are going to be discuss on this today's class? I'm just showing you. So how many problems you can able to solve? So for section 2, so everyone can tell me the answer. Out of 6, what's your rate? Because whoever told the answer, so I can solve it. So I'm going to be asking to the people. So tomorrow, so you are going to be solve it at any compiler. Okay, you have to be solve it at any compiler and bring up with the answer. So that should be done by yourself. So super Vanat Gupta, Madla Kevin, uh, Joel. So super. So you can able to try it. You can solve 5, 6, all maps. So super guys. Okay. So you can able to solve it. So I'm going to be asking the next intermediate question. So you can tell me that. So everyone can tell me guys. Even you can do or not. So even I cannot solve even a single problem. You can tell me. Okay. I'm not going to be uh tell you anything else. Okay. So I'm uh, not going to be scold you. So because you have to be understand, uh, you have to be learn this concept because it is very very important. So third intermediate question. So intermediate level. So how many people can solve this? These questions. So you can see the questions and then this is intermediate. So you have to be left rotate array by 1. So this question I'm asking you. Up to 30 it's having it's 10. It's out of 10. What's your rate? So we'll start up to this and we will start to work on the logical problems of questions. Okay. So because I don't want to take more times, you just simply answer. So based on this, we'll go. Okay. So no one going to be tell the answer for intermediate. Okay. So what's our rating? 5 approximately. Super. Super. Varnat Gupta can solve up to 5. I can solve up to 8 to 9 months. So super, Hemandra. So you're very okay. So super. So I hope you can able to solve. So in this data structure and also will solve at the while studying the data structure. So we are having the pointer based array and we have to be solve the hard logical questions and a string based array we are going to be solved and a bitwise arrays and advanced logical and super hard questions. So this is the complete thing we are going to be doing. Okay. So in this first class we will try to solve these two sections. Okay. And so we'll move to the strings and all. Okay. So try to solve these three sections and it helps to understand the concept. Okay. First of all, in the section 1, you have to be it just simply telling like you have to be get the input and yes, definitely I'm going to be sent the same mantra. Don't worry. Okay. So I'll try to be sent. So in input and print and array. Okay. So what you're going to be do? So you have to be get the input and print the array. So easily you can do this concept. I hope you can easily do this one. So the question is input and print and array. Okay. So likewise, I told you priorly, right? So the input you can able to here I've been declared the in okay instead of this here we can go through the here you can get the input from okay here you can get the input from user okay here you can so for example, you just initialize the value, and after that, I'm just using one for loop. Here, I'm use the third one for loop. Inside this for loop, first of all, I'm just using one scanf function. Okay, so scanf function. So scanf function of percentage of d and ampersand of. So you have to be write the where you want to be store the data. Okay, so I hope you have initialized the data, guys, but you are not you just declared it. Okay, you are not initialized. Here you are simply telling like I'm going to be assigned the five data I'm going to be assigned. Okay, here you are not telling like the exact data, what the data you are going to be collected from the user. So when you're going to be collected from the user, initially you're telling five data are going to be collected from the user. Okay, so simply what you're going to be do from the help of the scanf, because the scanf which is help you to be get the data from the user, right? So I'm just using a scanf. Through that, this is a placeholder. Okay, so this is we call it as a format specifier. So actually, what type of data you want to be stored? So if you want to be stored the data, so that data is going to be stored here. Okay, that is called as in placeholder. So here I'm just collecting the data through this variable. So here I declare the data called as an ARR. So inside this address, you just store the data. Okay, and I'm going to be declared for the another for loop. Here it helps to be print the data. Okay, here first of all, same thing. I'm just only changing it for here. I'm going to be use it for the I because I'm going to be initialize get the data 0 to 4. Here I'm going to be using a printf as okay. So initially, I'm going to be data as a int of array. I'm going to be declare. So in this array, I'm going to be initialized with multiple data. So 1, 2, for example. Okay. So in this one, you can just declare what is the size of this array. So size of just using like so you have to be first initial total amount of array and size of first number. Okay, you have to be declared that array. So this is the initial uh, element size. Okay, so after you have been given that, how to add the complete part. Okay, how you can able to um, completely. Okay, so this is one you can able to do this. So first of all, I can able to add the uh, complete array. So initially, I'm going to declare the sum. Okay, so sum is one of the variable I'm just simply using. So in this one, I'm just declare the sum is equals to 0. So why I'm going to be using this variable? Because the total amount of data I'm going to be stored and I'm going to store in this sum variable. Okay, after this sum variable, I'm going to be. So for that, I'm just using one for loop. Inside this for loop, I'm just declared same initialization and checking the condition. So why I'm going to be using this loop means because with the help of this, I can able to accessing all the data and I can easily add the all the data. Okay, so that I'm just using this one. Okay, so in this one, I'm just simply doing like assignment operator. So initially, sum is I'm going to be use it as an assignment operator. So sum plus is equals to of the data you want to be completely add up with this sum. So that is array of I. Okay. So while I'm going to be do like this, so what is actually going to be happens here? First of all, sum is initialized with 0. Okay, sum is initialized with 0. So when you're going to be add every array, so first of all, just checking for array of 0, that is 1. And array of, it is going to be added as 1. Okay. So, and then it is going to be sum plus array of 1 is going to be added, that is 2. Okay. So it is going to be added like 3. And sum plus array of second index, that is 3. It is going to be 6. So array of plus 4, it is going to be 10. So 10 plus array of last index, which is 5. It is completely 50. So it is going to be printed at last. Okay. So after we just completely printed, we just sum of all those data, we can simply do like we just simply print the value. Okay, so I've just simply print the value called as in sum. So it has helped you to be get the what's the value of sum. Okay, so this is how you can do it for the sum. Okay, and here it's just asking you for count even and odd number. That is the third question. It's just asking how you are going to be count the even and odd number. So the logic which you are going to be used for the even and odd number, commonly what the logic you are going to be used. So even number means it is always end up with zero. Okay, odd number means it is end up with one. Okay, so how you can easily get it this whether it is zero or one. So when you're going to do the modulus of 2, so we can easily get the remainder will be become always 0. Okay. So whatever the data, whatever the value you're going to be use, okay, whatever the value you can use. So for example, 16 you're going to use. So when you're going to be divide the 16 with the 2, so the value, so which is divisible by 2, so then you will get the remainder called as a 0. Okay. So whatever the value you can take, 36 or 32 or whatever it is, which is divisible, so the remainder will become 0. So when the value which is giving us 0, so it is going to be called as a, it is even. Okay. So whenever the value, for example, 37, so when you're going to be divisible by 2, it is not going to be given the value called as, a 0. It is given the 1. Okay, based on this, the number is divisible by 2. That is the remainder which is giving 0. Okay, it is a, yes, exactly. The number which is divisible by 0, it is called as an even number. It is not divisible by 2. Sorry, it is not divisible by not 0 by 6, 2. Okay, so if the number is divisible by 2, that is if the modulus value is 0, you have to be, it is an even number. It is not divisible by 2, so the value which is given as 1, it is called as an odd number. Okay, so exactly. That is the answer. Okay, so how you can easily do this operation? How you can easily do this operation. So first of all, you just simply assign the value. So this is how you can do this. So here you have to be find out the value. So simply you can do like if your array of ARR of 1, okay, which is modulus of 2, which is given 0 is equals to 0. That means the remainder value. You just don't confuse it. So whenever you're using slash, you just asking question value. Okay. So that question value. So whenever you're using a modulus, you're just asking the remainder value. Okay. If the value is just given like that, you have to be count plus. Okay. So this count plus is meant by same. So it's an increment operator, which just looks like an increment operator. Yes. So here what you are asking is you just increment the data. If, for example, you just given one value, if the value, first of all, the array of 0 is going to be taken. Okay, array of 0 is going to be taken, just one. So modulus of 2, what the value is going to be given, whether it is 0 or not. So it is not going to be given. Okay, if you're just taking the second value, it is going to be given. Yes, it is divisible by 2. So reminder will get 0. If it is given 0, you have to be count 1. So this count 1, which means by count is equals to count plus 1. Okay. Count plus, so 0 plus 1. So it is 1. So at last, so after it just completed, here you just write it for the else condition also. In this else, you just simply another data you just simply given that. So count 1. Okay. So after that, you just simply printed like how many count, how many even number you got it, how many odd number you just simply got it. Okay. You just easily printed these values. So this is for even and odd. So maximum and minimum. So we already done this problem, right? So maximum means initially you're going to be assigned one value. If when you're going to be compare this value, okay, with everything, so if it is maximum that one, so you have to be changed the value. So same thing you're going to be implemented for minimum. Okay, so you just having an array like this. You just simply having an array like this. So in this array, you just previous like same thing. So you are going to be initialize one min. Okay, so min is the you just initialize this value. Initially, you just assign the value of min is equals to ARR of 0. That means, so the first index value is the initially minimum value. Okay. So inside this checking condition, you can give it like, so whatever the data which is less than, which is less than ARR of I. Okay. So because in initially I just told you like minimum is the minimum number of this given array. If any of the data which is minimum value comparatively this minimum, you just print that value is the minimum. Okay. Here we are not going to be using the else conditions at all. Okay. So that's how you're going to be using the condition. So minimum and maximum you got it. Okay. And search elements. So in this condition, so they're asking about the search elements. So what do you mean by search and elements means? So in sometimes these questions, how you can able to get, for example, minimum is equals to 1. Okay, here I just give a minimum is equals to 1. You have to be search whether this element is present in this array or not. That is the search. Okay, you just type the element. Okay, here I'm just declare the variable called as search. Okay, you are going to be search whether the given data which is present inside this array or not. Okay, how you can able to do this? So same for loop. So mostly you have to be use looping for this array because without this looping condition, looping and all, you cannot accessing all the data. Okay, definitely you're going to be work on this looping. So in this one, I've just searched the array. How you can easily search the data? So first of all, what the data they have been given. So search is the one of the variable, and when the search is equals to any of the ARR of I. Okay, that means first of all it is 0. The value it is 1. So what is the index of 0? It is 1. So it's just checking the value whether 1 is 1. Yes, obviously yes. Okay, so likewise, it is actually going to. So here, just checking the condition for that, we just using the if condition. Okay, here I'm just using the if condition. Okay, likewise, if you want to be search the value of 4, so it is going to be check the value. Okay, here I'm using the 3, so it is going to be checking the condition. Okay, so yes, guys, I'm provided the what's attendance link. Okay, don't worry. So this is how we can able to considering the values. Okay. And finally, okay, you have to be print array in the reverse order. Okay, you have to be print the array in the reverse order. So we are having an easy technique. We can easily do this. Okay, we can easily do this. So if you want to be reverse this array, what we can able to do this, guys? So you people are telling me the answer. You people are telling me the answer. If I want to reverse the array, what the method? Easiest method you can tell me. I'm telling me tell me the another method. Definitely, I'm going to provide this PDF, guys. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm going to provide this one as a PDF to the depend. Okay, so you people are telling me the answer. I'm just asking you to answer. Okay. Everyone can post the answer. Meanwhile, I'm going to be do it for you. Okay. Mm, exactly, guys. So some people have been given the answer. So yes, so two methods people are given the answer. So all the people are honestly telling you guys. I hope you. So I believe in you. So you people are honestly telling the answer exactly. So A Mantra gave the first answer. We can reverse. So initially we can yes initialize with the high number. So high we can initialize with the high number and decrementing the data. So change the condition as reverse. Yes, exactly. Uh, Kasu Aishwarya. So exactly. Yes, Prashant also given the right answer. And Varnat Gupta, yes. So I hope you're trying to tell about the swapping method. So Srinath give the answer. Swapping method. So exactly. Use a string function B. Okay, we can use it while it is using in the like what string. Okay, so here this word carries. I'm going to be yes. So, but we can able to only find the length of the array only. I'm asking you guys. This is the array which have been given. Okay, you have to be change it like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is the output I wanted. What you are going to be doing? The logic you are going to be thinking. Okay, so this is my input. You have to be change it for this one. So what can I exactly do? So here I can do like, first of all, this is the looping. So I can easily access it with the help of the for loop. So when I'm going to do this method, it's trying to initialize with the zeroth index. I don't want the zeroth index. I want the last index. So by this last index, it is going to be incremented. So for that, what I'm going to do this. So this is the n value. Okay, this is the n value. So I'm going to be initialized with n minus of 1. So why we are going to do minus of 1? Because while you're going to be considering the index value, okay, because it's just taking the value from 0, not by 1. So we have to be consider it for minus 1. It is considering the fourth index. Okay. So we have to be considering the fourth index. And no, Hemanta, we can do it by the single loop is possible. So I'm going to explain this. And then you have to be check the condition I is greater than, because now it is converted into the n minus 1. It is the index of 4. Okay. Then I is definitely greater. You have to be compared with the index of 0. Okay, so you are going to be checking with the condition of 4, 3, 2, 1. It is not going to be checking the zeroth index. So for that, I'm just putting this equals to. Okay, if you are going to be putting like n minus 1, so it is going to be taken started with the condition, but we are completely checking for the index. Okay, so you have to be mentioned in this format. Okay, so and then finally, we are going to be incrementing the values. Okay. And when I'm going to print the value, so you can easily access the data, which is like I'm present of, sorry, array of 5. So it is automatically get reverse the value. Okay. It is automatically get reverse the, okay. So you can able to see this. It was reversed. Okay. Okay. It reversed. Okay. And after this, another method we can use it now. So here I just told you, here we didn't mention, okay. Here we just print some. Yes, here also I've been mentioned. Reverse an array without any library. Okay, so without using any library, you have to be, because data. So, sorry. Okay, so here we have to be do this reverse the value with the help of the step. Guys, can you able to hear my voice? Can you able to hear my voice, guys? So voice is not clear. So, yes, thank you guys. Now clear. Super. Okay, I will start it from here. Now it's clear, guys. Is everyone clear, guys? My voice is clear. Just tell me on the chat. Yes, thank you, guys. Yeah, clear. So here, this is one of the swap method, guys. So we already did. So if you know how we can able to do with the help of the another method. So with the help of this another method, instead of doing this, okay, first of all, I'm going to initialize the value of 0. Okay. And here I'm going to be checking the condition greater than of n. Okay. And now the logic you are going to be understand. Okay. You just understand the logic. Just, I'm having a data in this form. I'm having a data in this format of uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So what I'm going to be actually do this concept, I need to be reverse the data. Okay, this data is going to be reversed like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With the help of this one method, I just found it, you can easily reverse. So another method is there. So many people are telling the answer for us swap. So how the swap is actually going to be understood? Okay, so you can easily do like, first of all, you just think it. It's just a mirror, okay? Because this 5 is going to be placed it on here. This one is going to be placed on here. So this 2 is placed it on here. This 4 is placed it on here. Okay. And 3 is as it. Okay. If it is an odd number. Okay. If it is an even number, if it is an even number, what you're going to be doing? So 1, okay. If it is an even number, so you have to be swap all the numbers. You have to swap all the numbers. Okay, 6 is going to be placed it here, 1, and 5 is going to be placed it here, 2, 4, and 3. This is how it. So same thing you're going to be implemented in the program. Okay, so first of all, like what you're going to do, so you just take this number and you just take this number. Okay, and you just simply swap it. So for that, we are going to be using one extra temporary variable. Okay, just simply use it like, first of all, I'm just using like, I'm going to be tell the value of here. Okay, this n is divided by 2. So why it is divided by 2, I'm going to be explaining. Okay, here we don't go to the another loop twice. We can complete by the this method. Okay, so while discussing about the pointer, we'll do this method. Okay, here you can, first of all, you just take it like I is equals to 0, you have been initialized here. Okay, and you just using the another variable called as an n divided by 2. Okay, you are just checking the value up to n divided by 2. So why you are checking n divided by 2? So I'm going to be tell it later. Okay, you don't worry about this. So here, first of all, if, okay, so you are going to be checking array of uh, you're going to be swapping the values. Okay, first of all, you're going to be swapping the values. Okay, here we are not going to be using the conditions. So swapping the values means, first of all, I'm just taking the, you just see this one. This is the index. Okay, this index one means array of 0, 0. So array of 0, 0 is going to be, this value is going to be a swap. Okay, one is going to be located on this position. This is going to be located on this position. Okay, what can I do? So this array of 0, 0 going to be old value for doesn't find. Okay, so exactly. So this last one, that is a array of, so what we can write it here, array of, it is the total final value, right? We directly write it. Here you can easily write array of I. So array of I initially 0 it is 3. But it is the last value, we have to be consider it as an, so total value is n. N means it's provided 5. Okay. 5 is not, we are not going to be use it. Okay. So we have to be taken the index. So minus of 5 and minus of 1. Okay, so why are we going to be doing this method? So minus of 5, minus of 1. So because of this is the total value that is a 5, because it is also get looped. It is decremented loop. It is incremented loop. Okay, so here you just consider it is a n is 5 and initially 5 I is 0 minus of 1. You will get the index value which is 4. So you will easily get the index of ARR of 0 and ARR of 4. Okay, just simply implemented here. So initially ARR of I, you are just initialized with, you are going to be used one temporary variable. So int, I'm going to be put temp. Okay. Temp is one of the variables. So how you can able to do this problem, guys? So temp. So here you are having a value of 10, value of 15. So if you want to be swap the variable, so temporarily you just add on another variable. So you just move this 10 is equals to, so you just initialize 10 is equals to, temp is equals to A. Okay, and this A is become free. So now you just put the value B inside this temp. So A is equals to B. Okay, now you are going to be, now the B is free. Now you are going to be dump the temp variable, that is A is equal, that is temp is equals to B. Okay, sorry, it's B is equals to 10 because B is free now. Okay, B is free now, so B is equals to 10. So now the values swap. So previously it is A is equals to 10, B is equals to 15. Now the values swap. So A is equals to here, like we have been swapped the value. So now it's become 15 and now it's become 10. Okay, so value has been swapped. Same method we are going to be implemented on 10. So how it is actually going to be working? So the temp ARR of I, which is equals to, sorry, so temporary I'm going to be declare. So temporary is equals to ARR of I. That is the initial data. Okay. And now ARR of I is free. ARR of I is free. In this place, I'm going to be store the ARR of n minus I minus 1. Okay. This value I'm going to be put. That is the greatest one. So now it has become free. This value, this place has become free. In this place, I'm going to be store the value of them. Okay. So always you just end up with this one. After you just complete this, you are going to be assigned another for loop. So while you're going to be declare this for loop, you are just simply run. You just simply print all the data. Okay. By the reversed order. This printf is actually going to be printed the reversed order. Okay, so I told you that why you are going to be using a n by 2. So I told you previously after I'm going to be tell this concept. Because initial total value n is equals to 5. Okay, why are you putting n by 2? So n by 2 is 5 by 2 is equals to 2.5. It has been given. Okay, so you are using a common I. Okay, there is you have been segregated for 2, which you just simply split it as 2. So when you are going to be initialized I is equals to 0 means this I is equals to 0, here also 0, here also you're going to be 0. Okay, when you're putting I is equals to 1, here also it is 1, here also it is 1. So then it is done. Yeah, you have been done the complete process because it is not going to be incremented this. So that's what you're going to be checking the condition for I only taken 0 and 1. Okay, after you don't want to check for the other values, you just simply stop the value. That's what you're just using yan by 2. You got clear, guys, why you're using n by 2? You got clear, you just got clear on the chat box. If you got clear, you just got clear message on the chat box. So meanwhile, I'm going to be give the attendance link, guys. Don't worry. Now you got clear. So Super Hemandra and Prashant, I hope you got clear. So here we are used with the help of a swap. We can easily swap with the Raj Mogan Bhatia. Yes, I forget it. Okay, I'm going to be share this PDF, guys. Thanks for the reminder. Hmm, I forget it how to.